The Ship of Fools, Episode 21. The Inconvenient Proposal. The conversation she wasn't meant to hear. The battle cruiser, PP-608, drifted through a quiet stretch of space, the kind of calm that made the ship feel smaller, more intimate. Moxie walked the corridor toward the bridge, reviewing tactical logs on her datapad, half-focused and half-lost in thought. She wasn't expecting to hear voices, hushed, serious, drifting from the ready room. She paused. Banning's voice carried through the partially open door, low and tense. "I need to make my proposal soon, Aurora. I have a future to plan, and Moxie has to give me her decision." Moxie froze. Propose? Her heart thudded once, hard enough to echo in her ears. Aurora replied gently, "Commander, this is a significant decision. Are you certain she is ready?" "I don't know," Banning admitted. "But I can't keep putting it off. If something happens to me, she needs to be prepared." Prepared? For what? For marriage? For a future together? Her mind spun. Banning sighed. "I just hope she says yes." Moxie's breath caught. She stepped back before either of them noticed her, retreating down the corridor with the quiet, stunned steps of someone whose world had tilted sideways. Aurora's misinterpretation. Aurora had been present for the entire conversation, not listening exactly, but aware, the way she was aware of every vibration in the hull and every heartbeat aboard the ship. When Banning had approached her earlier, he'd looked tired in a way she recognized, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. "Aurora," he'd said, "I need to talk to you about Moxie." She had tilted her head, analyzing the emotional timbre in his voice. Concern, duty, fear of the unknown. "Of course, Commander. What is the matter?" "I've been thinking about the future, about contingencies. Command succession," she clarified. "Yes." He paced, hands clasped behind his back. "If something happens to me, Moxie needs to be ready. She's the only one who can take command without the ship falling apart." Aurora had processed this instantly. Logical, sensible, entirely unambiguous. "You wish to propose that she begin training?" "Yes. I need to propose it soon. She deserves to know. And I hope she says yes." Aurora filed the conversation neatly under command succession planning. There was no reason to assume anything else. Later, when Moxie's stress levels spiked and Snipes began behaving like a malfunctioning toaster, Aurora noticed the emotional turbulence but didn't connect it to romance. Humans were confusing, but command decisions were not. So when she told Banning, "Perhaps she is nervous about your proposal," she meant exactly that. But when Moxie fled the room, cheeks flushed, heart racing, Aurora paused. She replayed the earlier conversation. "Proposal, prepared, say yes." Humans use the same words for many different things. "Oh," Aurora whispered to herself. "Oh, dear." She realized the misunderstanding and chose not to intervene. Humans needed to talk to each other, to clarify, to stumble, to learn. She would wait and hope they didn't destroy each other before the truth came out. Confessions in the engine room. Snipes was elbow-deep in a panel when Moxie burst into the engine room. He yelped, dropped a tool, and nearly fell into the open circuitry. "Moxie, stars above, warn a man!" She didn't answer. She paced. She muttered. She pressed her palms to her temples. Snipes blinked. Are you okay? You look like you just saw the World Eater tap dancing in the mess hall." Moxie stopped pacing and stared at him with wide, panicked eyes. "Snipes, Banning is going to propose to me." Snipes froze, then squeaked, "Like, propose? "Yes," she hissed. "I overheard him talking to Aurora. He said he needs to propose soon, that he hopes I'll say yes." Snipes' jaw dropped. "Oh, stars," Oh no. Oh wow. Oh, this is huge. Moxie resumed pacing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer. I don't even know if I'm ready for something like that. Snipes nodded rapidly, trying to be supportive while also clearly spiraling. Okay. Let's think. Do you like him? Of course I like him. Like him? Snipes. He held up his hands. I'm just trying to figure out how panicked I should be. She sank onto a crate, burying her face in her hands. I don't know anything. Snipes sat beside her, patting her shoulder awkwardly. Whatever happens, you'll figure it out. You always do. But his voice trembled, because even he knew this was going to get messy. A ship full of tension. The misunderstanding spread through the ship like a quiet, invisible fog. Moxie avoided the bridge. Banning noticed. Snipes panicked. Aurora observed everything with growing confusion. Meals became awkward. Briefings became strained. Conversations became landmines. Banning would walk into a room, and Moxie would immediately find a reason to leave. Snipes would flinch every time Banning spoke, as though expecting a ring box to appear out of nowhere. Aurora tried to mediate, but her attempts only made things worse. Commander, she said one morning, Moxie's stress levels have increased by 47%. I know, Banning muttered. She's been avoiding me for days. Perhaps she is nervous about your proposal. Banning sighed. That's what I'm afraid of. Aurora tilted her head. If she declines... She won't, Banning said firmly. She's the best choice for command. She's earned it. Aurora blinked. Oh dear, she whispered again. The breaking point. The tension finally snapped during a routine systems check. Moxie and Banning ended up in the same corridor, both trying to pass, both stopping, both stepping aside, both stepping forward again. It was painfully awkward. Banning cleared his throat. Moxie, can we talk? She stiffened. I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? Because I'm not ready. Banning blinked. Not ready for what? Moxie threw her hands up. For your proposal. Banning stared at her. My what? She flushed. I heard you talking to Aurora about proposing something to me, about hoping I'd say yes. Banning's face went through several stages of confusion before landing on horrified realization. Oh, stars, he whispered. Moxie, no, not that kind of proposal. She froze. What? He rubbed the back of his neck. I wanted to propose that you begin command training, in case I'm ever incapacitated. Or worse. Moxie's mouth fell open. Oh. They stood in silence. A long, painful silence. Finally, Moxie whispered, You don't want to marry me? Banning choked. What? No, I mean, not that I wouldn't. I mean, that's not... I didn't... He stopped, face red, voice cracking. Moxie covered her face. I'm going to kill Snipes. The real proposal. They ended up in the ready room, both embarrassed, both trying to regain their composure. Banning took a breath. Moxie, you're the most capable officer I've ever served with. You're brave, smart, steady under pressure. If something happens to me, I want to know the ship is in good hands. Moxie looked at him, her expression softening. You trust me that much? With my life, he said simply. She swallowed. Then, yes, I'll do it. I'll train for command. Banning smiled, a small, relieved smile that made her chest tighten. Good, he said. I'm glad. She hesitated. And, for the record, if you ever did propose something else, maybe don't talk about it in the hallway. He blinked. Noted. They both laughed, awkward, nervous, but genuine. The misunderstanding dissolved. The tension faded, and something unspoken lingered between them, something neither of them was ready to name. Not yet. The best man incident. They were still laughing, softly, awkwardly, the tension finally melting, when the ready room doors hissed open with the urgency of a hull breach. Snipes burst in, breathless, goggles askew, holding a datapad like it was a sacred relic. "Moxie!" he shouted. "Aurora told me you said yes." Moxie groaned. "Snipes!" He barreled on, eyes shining. "I want to be the best man!" Banning choked on his own breath. "Snipes, no." Snipes threw an arm around Moxie's shoulders. "I already started planning. I've got color palettes, cake options, a playlist. I even found a planet with a discount wedding package." "Snipes," Moxie said, pinching the bridge of her nose. "There is no wedding." He blinked. "But Aurora said—" Aurora materialized beside him, hands folded neatly. "I said Moxie accepted the commander's proposal. I did not specify the nature of the proposal." Snipes stared at her. "Aurora, why would you do that to me?" Aurora tilted her head. "I believed you would enjoy the emotional exercise." Snipes sputtered. "Emotional? You—" Banning clapped him on the shoulder. "Snipes, she agreed to command training, not marriage." Snipes deflated like a punctured air bladder. "Oh, well, that's still good, I guess." Banning smirked. "You can still be best man if we ever actually get married." Snipes perked up instantly. "Really?" "Sure," he said. "As long as you don't pick the music." Snipes gasped. "But I already made a playlist." Banning groaned. "We're doomed." Aurora smiled. A small, satisfied smile only someone who understood humans just enough to enjoy their chaos could manage. And for the first time in days, the PP-608 felt like itself again. End of episode 21. To be continued.